So what's coming up in other areas of my garden? All new seeds. So there's a few peppers there, normal peppers. We're up at the moment in the apple and small tree fruit orchard. So one time I will go through and show you all of that. In here I was growing yellow melons, but as I have said in another video, nothing's growing this year that are melons, squashes or anything like this. And normally they grow exceptionally well. So here's tomato growing. As I've said before, my cat bag ones seem to be doing the best this year. And then this is doing very well. This is watermelon. Now this didn't grow at all in the hugel bed, but I water this every day literally, so this is something I will think probably won't do well in a hugel bed unless the hugel bed is years old and there's so much moisture and decomposure. So here I've just found a watermelon starting to grow, and here I've actually placed in a bag another watermelon. And I've put it in a bag. I'm not sure if ants would get it when it's so small. So I put it in a bag that I also use on my grapevines that I've made just to protect from bugs and insects. And here is one of the bags on my grapes to protect it. I have done a video about these bags, how I've made them. So you can just about see some grapes there. And I have some other bags also protecting my grapes. And then here we have some more tomatoes. They're doing okay. They're quite young ones, not been coming up very long. And here we have, last thing in this area, small, that's new and growing, is some more peppers. That's doing very well, but this pot's quite shallow around the edge, so I think I need to change that. It's a very shallow pot, which probably isn't the best. So now we come past the swimming pool and down to my main veg growing area. I have so many different areas where I grow. And the reason I have different areas is, as I've said many times, if you have some pest that you haven't noticed and it gets onto a certain crop, you've got loads more of it somewhere else. So in these bags are more peppers. These I've done from seed. Some are doing better than others. And these are the cat bags that I speak of. You just literally open them at the top, roll down the top so that if you water with a hose like I do, the bags don't crumple up. And then I actually make some puncher with a hole puncher, make some little holes on the bottom just so the water can drain. There's a big pepper. This is actually in the crate growing. That's a chilli in this one, and chilli here, that's growing in the container, but I just put the other bags in there to hold them up. The bags at the front here are rose cuttings. I've actually taken these not at the best of times because we have winter roses. So this is June, and I'll show you later on the ones I have taken that took when I cut them from brand new stems. Here are more peppers. The tall one is actually from last year that I cut back as it dies off and then it regrows, but the rest are from seeds from this year. This is my best tomato plant. Oh, it needs tying up, it's fallen down, it's so heavy. with tomatoes. Now this was from last year or even the year before, and it keeps regrowing. It's very big, as you can see, lots of tomatoes on it. And this is in an old compost bag. It's not bought-in compost. This is my homemade compost, but it was an old compost bag someone gave us because I like things like that. Again, some air holes punched in. These are some more broccoli seeds. Not doing the best, but I've transplanted these from, I'll show you in a minute, went a bit mad self-sowing the seeds, so I've sort of rescued these to try and give some more space to the other ones. So some are better than others. Oh, there's a good one. So as I say, this year there seems to be so much broccoli and peppers mainly. And then we have here a pomegranate tree. The first two bags here are fruit trees, apricots and a fig tree. I'm going to keep these all small and put them by our new Airbnb accommodation. Keep them in pots small, but then the guests can pick fruit outside the door of their self-catering accommodation for their breakfast or for snack. So that's an olive tree there. That's another pepper. I've just watered these, so it's gone a bit limp. And then we've got an olive tree with another tree trying to grow through. Possibly an orange tree there. And then another olive tree with what I keep calling an omedos plant. It's not omedos, but watch my video where I explain why I call them omedos flowers. And then here's some purslane with another orange tree and some more of those flowers. And then I've got tubs here of random seeds from fruits, oranges, and I think there's something else there. If I remember, I'll put what they are coming there that people gave us. And then we've got bags here. We're trying so desperately to grow some apricot trees. There are apricot seeds of different stages. And then here, lamb's quarter. And then in this bed, I've got so much broccoli seeds. There's broccoli seeds are sown there. You maybe see a few starting to come up there. There's so much broccoli this year. I think all my friends are going to have broccoli. And then that's another pepper plant. I do have some yellow melons coming through in this bed, but on the whole they've not done as well as they normally would do, and they're late coming up. Some more broccoli, some onions, and here I've seeded, again very small, peppers. Lots of pepper, lots of peppers. So there's peppers all in this bed. And then in this bath, old bath, I've got all the chilies and peppers that aren't my normal long thin chilies that I like. So these are all different Mexican type chilies, the little tiny ones, in between ones. I don't know all their names, I just know these are the Mexican ones. So I've decided to take them all out elsewhere, what I call the random ones. All my friends like these ones, whereas I like the long thin traditional chili more. So it's my friend's area basically. And then the fig trees are growing here. These again are going to be mini, left small, because there's the breakfast area, one of the many areas people can choose to have breakfast if they stay at our bed and breakfast in our farmhouse, and they can pick the figs. And then my asparagus. I don't think I've got any good shots of this really, because I either get it when it's dyeing itself back, going back into the ground, and it's all brown, or when there's just some growing. So that's not a bad shot. Then in here I've put, as I was digging up those Mexican peppers, I found some of these tiny little onion shoots coming through, so I've put them in this bath just to give them a bit of a fighting chance, because I do water this bath because of the asparagus needs lots of water. And now I'll go to show you my absolute ridiculous broccoli. So this bed here, this is a little further away. I self-sowed some watermelon this side, so there's a few coming up, only because this is supposed to have lots of soil where it can spread and reach. Although this is quite a dry bed, it's a bit clayey, so I wasn't sure if it'd come up. And then I thought the other half I would self-seed some broccoli. Do excuse these flowers in between, these are the ones, I forget what they're called. I'm going to have to put it up. As I say, I keep calling them Omedos because I can never remember. They've got so many names, something like midnight, 4 o'clock flower, so many names. Anyway, these pop up here naturally, as did this orange tree, random. But then this second half, I thought I would just throw some broccoli seeds down. As you can see, some's come up. But I don't know if I dropped the jar of seeds or what. But look, this is ridiculous. These won't grow all crammed together. And I really don't want my whole garden full of broccoli. I think I dropped the jar if I recall. And broccoli seeds are so tiny. Look at my video of how to collect the broccoli seeds. You never have to buy broccoli again, and I certainly won't. Because out of these, if you leave them to go to seed, you can get broccoli, broccoli, broccoli. I've become a bit obsessed with it. We do like it, we eat it a lot, don't get me wrong, but it's absolutely ridiculous. They're too tightly crammed together. So if you leave your broccoli to grow, once it's finished and you've eaten all the heads, you leave it like this, you get all these dead sort of pods. And I've done a video on this, how you collect the seeds out of these pods. So if I leave this, these will break down themselves and land in that bed. Does anyone want some broccoli? Then we move on to my tyre area. Again, you can make your own comparisons. If you see the same things, they're normally, unless I say otherwise, sowed at the same time. So you can make your own judgment as to what grows best. So my tyres I do like, they seem to grow very well, everything. You'll see in a minute the tomato difference. So this is watermelon. We've got the yellow flowers. It's my first time growing watermelon. So I've read different books and they all say completely different things what to do. Sometimes I prick it out and they say leave no more than 4 stems growing that will weave along the ground. And their root system is different to marrow and courgette and all those types of things, squashes. But we'll see what happens with those. And then more peppers. Now compare these were sown at the same time. So make your own thought. And then this is my garlic tyre, which there's not a lot going on there. There's some garlic in there with the leaves that's dying back, which I need to dig out. And then these tomatoes were sown exactly the same time as all the other tomatoes you've seen, except for that one in the compost bag. Wow, what a difference in a tyre. Oh, here comes Pebbles. Let me show you Pebbles. Hello, Pebbles. It's very hot for her. It's early in the morning, but it's still very hot. So she likes to sit in my veg patches, especially if I've watered them, because they're nice and damp and cool. So yes, look at these tomatoes, and here's some more, another tyre. These have just about got the little green tomatoes on some of them coming through, and the rest have got yellow flowers. So definitely tyres for tomatoes. And then this is a pepper. Oh, now I free sowed some more peppers in the bottom here. The ones I showed you just now in the tire, they were dug out from here actually. I remember I dug them out from here because they're too crowded, and I keep pulling some out and putting them elsewhere. So the comparison of the tire growing isn't those other ones, because they were shaded here. These were sown at the same time. Look at the peppers here. So that was sown the same time as these shaded ones, which were transplanted into the first pepper tire I showed you. So they like the light. And finally, here are the tomatoes growing in my cat food bags, a few pots, and in the back of an old toilet system. So until next time, Meraki.